many, many years ago, most singing work happened in the backyard of wherever the production was going on. So there wasn't a lot of work going on across state lines, so to speak, from the West Coast to the East Coast to, the South to the West. Everything sort of stayed in its own little area, and they were specialized places. A lot of the film vocal work really happened on the West Coast. A lot of the commercial production really happened on the East Coast, and specifically in New York. And at that time, it was pretty easy to stay connected because although it was still very hard to get involved in the work, it was easy at least to know where it was happening. There was a small group of production companies and recording studios, that were involved in these productions, and you could physically drop off your materials, call, and connect in different ways. It wasn't easier because there was still hundreds of people vying for, one or two slots, but it was easier logistically. Technology really was the big game changer. And I think in the entire music business, technology was the game changer that no one really saw the down the road consequences of, and therefore, did not fully prepare for it. And I think all of you have already seen that in the way that record companies are operating and publishing companies are operating and radio stations are operating. They sort of really loved their little bubble that worked really well, and they just thought it would be there forever. And they didn't look at the fact that technology was going to change all of that. And I think the beauty of change is scary sometimes, and it leaves people a little confused and unsure of what to do. But I think the beauty of this change in our business is that the music business is finally more accessible to everyone. It's still difficult. It's always going to be difficult. But the playing field is definitely more level because, it's not like if you wrote a hit song and you were part of a hit band that then you went to the radio stations, the 3 major radio stations or 2 in each city, and you went to them and they played your song. And if you could get them to play it, you had a hit. It doesn't exist anymore because there's so many outlets for people to listen to music. So it opens up the door for everybody. And the same is true in all sorts of session work, and specifically in session work, because now an LA producer who's working on a commercial or on a movie soundtrack or on a industrial type of project, they can actually look for and work with talent anywhere in the country if they have access to their own remote recording setup, or even a local recording studio is relatively inexpensive. And we found many producers will just say, it's okay wherever the talent's from.